In the final stages of the season, there are always issues revolving around contracts and the possibility of extending contracts for Bayern's star players. Over the past 2 years, this has frequently fallen into turmoil, with Robert Lewandowski and Sadio Mane being the most prominent examples. And in the context of losing the silverware for the first time in 11 years of dominance in Germany, the team's dynamics have started to show signs of strain. It's not surprising if they undertake a major overhaul in the summer transfer window, bringing in new elements and rebuilding to truly challenge Leverkusen in the seasons ahead. But to the extent of pressuring Alphonso Davies as early as the end of March, that's not necessarily the most appropriate action, especially when the ambition to win the Champions League theoretically remains intact. Many newspapers have reported in recent days that a contract offer has been sent from Bayern Munich to the Canadian winger. Of course, the negotiation process and a new agreement still require some further discussions to become a reality. But Bayern seems very eager for a commitment from Davies, whether it's signing a contract or proposing a future club that he desires. This has prompted Alphonso Davies' agent, Nadal Hughes, to speak out in the publication. This decision is discomforting. It's unfair to receive a final warning from Bayern. We will make a decision at the end of the season when there is more clarity. It's unfair that Alphonso is currently under attack from the team. We were close to reaching an agreement a year ago, after which the entire club's leadership was replaced. We didn't hear anything for 7 months after that. Now we're being given a final warning and have to react within 2 weeks because the club is under pressure and it takes a lot of time to reposition the management. That's not fair. It's a very important contract in Alphonso's career, and we have to make a decision without knowing who the coach will be next season or what the team will look like. That's why we think it's unfair to have to react to a final warning in such a short time. Currently, according to the prevailing opinion, especially from transfer expert Fabrizio Romano, David will not sign a contract with Bayern at this time. Real Madrid has recognized the situation and started to get involved, and Davies' contract with Bayern Munich extends until the end of the 24-25 season, so Bayern Munich's goal is to make efforts to extend the contract. Perhaps Bayern had to be urgent since 2023, but from the end of the 22-23 season, there have been internal changes at Bayern when Oliver Kahn and sporting director Hasan Salihamidzic were fired immediately after the team won their 11th consecutive silverware. When there was turbulence at the top, the contract negotiations for Alphonso Davies, as announced by his representative, were postponed for over half a year. And until now, there have been tentative attempts to resume them, but more like a gambit. Davies would be foolish to turn a blind eye to the current club issues with a deadline to respond in just 2 short weeks. Just like Nadal Hughes' statement, who will be the next coach of Bayern Munich, whether he will have him in his plans, and the quality of Bayern's squad after an overhaul? Can they continue to compete for titles? With a 23-year-old player who is among the top wingbacks of this era, coupled with the team's declining results in recent years, Davies has more negotiating power. On the other hand, Bayern is said to have offered $12 million per year, while Davies' target is $17 million to accept renewal. Therefore, a player who is both the present and the future of Bayern is receiving offers from outside. If Bayern Munich wants to keep him, they should accept to make the contract more attractive rather than acting so rigidly. The statement from sporting director Max Eberl in response to Davies' representative on Sky Germany indicates that the situation is becoming increasingly difficult to resolve. We don't feel pressured. There is a normal relationship between the player and the club. That's completely normal. We believe we have made a very fair and accurate offer. At some point in life, you have to say yes or no. That's how it goes. I can't wait until a day before Christmas and say that a decision will fall from heaven at some point. The decision has to come from all sides. Some stones have to fall. It's entirely legitimate when you have to make a decision at some point, whether it's Alphonso Davies or another player. Combined with the fact that Alphonso Davies has recently been frequently playing from the bench, it shows that the tension is becoming increasingly evident. And if his choice is Real Madrid at this stage, perhaps it's not such a difficult decision after all. From the beginning of this season, there have been rumors from Sky Germany that Real's squad planner Juni Calafat advised the Canadian player to stay away from contract negotiations with his current club. This opens up the possibility of a move to the Royal Club as early as the summer transfer window. Although the sources may not be verified, considering the developments up to this point, If Davies wants a hefty salary and a more secure future, heading towards Real Madrid seems unavoidable. The Royal Club is unveiling a plan to complete a super squad in this summer's transfer window, with Kylian Mbappe set to join for free, followed by the introduction of Endrick at the newly renovated Santiago Bernabéu Stadium. Welcoming the new era after seasons of significant financial gains, despite not witnessing major championships in 2023, Real Madrid stands atop the European financial reports. Regarding the left-back position, Real Madrid currently only has two players in charge, Fran Garcia and Ferland Mendy. Among them, one is a cheap option with limited quality, often used as a rotational or non-crucial match player. Mendy's quality may not suffice for high-stakes games, and his injury issues are a cause for concern. Real Madrid's contact with Alphonso Davies has been ongoing since the beginning of this year, to the extent that Transfermarkt has created a super squad lineup for Real Madrid for the 24-25 season, including Davies and potentially Yoro, who is currently part of Lens's roster. While the Real midfield is beginning to solidify, the forward line remains top-notch and defensive changes are still causing worries, making Davies a suitable candidate with his tremendous speed, which can make a difference when his team needs it most. With a price tag of 60 million euros according to Transfermarkt and only 1 year left on his contract, Real Madrid would only need to invest around 80 million euros to welcome this player. Besides, this summer, they won't have to spend money to sign Kylian Mbappe either. If necessary, they could wait until next season to bring Davies in for free. Truly, since the financial lessons learned from the 1920 season, no team has been as shrewd in their dealings as Real Madrid at this level. Real Madrid is gradually shaping up as a dominant force, and it's hard to resist for any ambitious player like Davies. If Bayern Munich feels they don't need the gem that they brought into the spotlight, then just let Real Madrid have it. After all, they will also need a few more years to return to glory, especially considering Leverkusen's long-term commitment to Xabi. So, for a player who is an icon of Canadian football, joining the La Liga sky isn't just the wisest choice, it's the only choice. Because Real Madrid needs a player like Davies, and with Bayern's internal signals being uncertain since the previous season, Florentino Perez's ambitions seem to be taking flight. The strongest Real Madrid in half a decade will emerge in the next season, and that's the vision of the savvy president. Davies would be the perfect fit for a youthful, ambitious Real Madrid that continues to aim for the top spot. What better ending could there be?